Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you all. You may not recognize me this morning. I have hair. Look at this. She's wearing it down. Not only is she wearing it down, it's not red. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll wait for a few of you to get here. How are you doing? Are you well? Happy Monday, everybody. Congratulations. Here we are at the beginning of another week of, well, it's not really, it's kind of lockdown. Like, what even is it anymore? Okay, so good morning, Gemma Hemsley. She's first off the post this morning. Good morning, darling. How are you? Welcome in. Come on in, come and get a cuddle. Let me know whereabouts you are watching from in the UK or even abroad. I know we have a global audience. I am your host. My name is Danny Wallace, and I am the Queen Bee, which is quite a tall order. I understand it's a bold statement to make, but it is what it is. And I am the Queen Bee, and so are you, or the King Bee, or the Royal Bee. We have a King Bee joining us this morning. The fabulous Tom Stanhope will be on our show in just a few minutes' time. We're going to do the shit weather first. But you will have noticed I've got a hair thing going on this morning. I have some. I do have, I have a number of scarves. You can imagine the amount of scarves that I wear. That I have lots of scarves that are kind of close to hand. But I wanted to show you. It's like a kid showing the mum, isn't it? I wanted to show you my hair. Morning, Debbie Marks. Hello, darling. Govinda Singh. Govinda Sandhu. Good morning. Good morning, Emma Roscoe. Tracy Tillman in the house. What's up, everybody? Tell me about your weekend. What did you get up to this weekend? I did a mixture of getting some jobs done and resting because I absolutely needed to. Yesterday was insane. Absolutely insane. We launched those big, awesome VIP one-to-one intensives last week. They're going to be on the website in just a couple of weeks' time, so people will be able to just go and book. We had people snaffle. Can you imagine? We had people snaffle a place on the next cohort be inspired before it's even gone on sale. It's crazy. Like, people have come to me and gone, do you know what? The VIP intensive isn't exactly what I need, but I do want to do the speaker mastermind with you. Can I reserve my spot? And I was like, yeah, you can. And people did, which was mental. So that was like last week, was all kinds of crazy. We went to see some houses over the weekend. So I said I'd keep you posted in terms of what the house hunting is looking like. We have found a beautiful house. However, we don't know if it's going to be finished in time for us to access different schemes. So just keep your fingers crossed for us, because we have found an incredible house, but we might not be able to move into it until sort of early next year. So we're gonna stop looking for now until we can officially start looking at the end of September. But we have had a look around at some houses. We're kind of feeling our way in there. We're like, oh, these are nice. We could live here. This feels like my house, which is what we did over the weekend. As well as me decided I could take these off because I don't need these for a second. But here's what I did. I went live yesterday on my personal profile, and I was like, okay, Facebook, I am gonna embrace the grey, because hang on, it's all back to front. So here, I don't know if you can see, the light really doesn't do it justice, but I've got like Elvira stripes. You can see it probably here better. So all here, it's all sort of salt and pepper grey. And then again, on this side, look at that. It's all of it here is all salt and pepper grey. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll strip. And this has been going on since I was like 19. When I first got my grey hairs in these sort of Elvira stripes. And it has sort of merrily gone through like all my hair. It's particularly white hair. Look at that. Look at it. So I've been, as you know, all sorts of colours over the years, from blue to mermaid colours to pillar box red to I'm trying to work out which way my hair goes now, because I so very rarely wear it down. To pillar box red. His latest, guys, was kind of like a dark cherry red. And I thought, well, do you know what? Actually, the majority of the terrible damage that I'd done to it is kind of gone, and I'm just left with the kind of remnants of this box dye. So I'm thinking, like, right, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to grow it out? Is this where we're going with life? Do I feel like I want to kind of embrace? Someone laughed and went, "What, do you want to be any more real?" I've booked be inspired for two friends. Do you need their names as they're booked under mine? Yes, if you can email bookings at imthequeenbee.co.uk, Yvonne, then my incredible assistant Anna will pick up all of the kind of the details. And vibing house and island vibes for you. Nice. Yeah, you've got to. Like, there was an island in the house that we looked at. I was like, look at my island in my house that I don't own yet. So yeah, this is not a color like on my hair. This is like after the dye has been taken out of my hair. So kind of what the lightening, not the lightning, what the lightening looks like from the box dyes. So I'm gonna go to the hairdressers today. I'm going to see a colorist, and I'm gonna go and say like, look, what's popping. I actually like this. I don't know how you guys feeling about this. Do I just grow it out from here? I don't know. I might just get it cut and not touch it and see what's going on and just like painfully grow it out. I don't know. You know what I'm like? It'll only be a matter of time before I get bored and I'll chuck a red on it again because I get all excited. So anyway, tell me what the weather's doing where you are. It is a bit shit out there. I'm not going to lie to you. In the Preston area, probably in the surrounding northwest area. What is my hair looks like honey? I love it. It is like in the cold light of day. It's just a dark mucky ginger. Is kind of that's probably how my sister would describe herself, but not how I would describe myself. But yeah, it's kind of gone like a dark mucky ginger color, because when you do have dark hair you tend to have kind of red tones, even though it's quite a mute black. Look at us all talking about my hair this morning. But yes, so further updates to come in the next day or so, when I make some firmer decisions. It's a bit lush in Spain. Let us live vicariously through Sandra, who is holidaying as we speak. It is Scorcho over in Spain. We will represent it over it is Scorcho in Brum. If you are global, by the way, we will represent you over on the map just up there underneath the compass. So please do tell me if you're watching globally, whereabouts are you? It's Scorcho. It's sunshine in Cheshire. Oh, you lot, look at it. Getting all sunshiny bees this morning. Where else is it lovely? Tell me. I've got 3 Scorchio bees left. Blue sky and sunshine in Lincolnshire. Nice. Oh, I'm digging this for you lot today. Soak up the sun. Allow me to live vicariously through you. Sunshine and blue skies in Nottingham. I think I've kind of covered you guys just there, kind of with the big bees. But yeah, looking out there, it looks, I don't know. Nah, it looks a bit shit. So moving on very, very swiftly to a dear friend of mine this morning. I've been very, very lucky to share huge parts of the IATQB journey with our guest this morning, particularly from the beginning of last year to this point. It has been quite the journey for both of us in lots of different ways. So our guest this morning has been our videographer of choice for a lot of our in real life things. He'll be coming along as a guest this time, having just come through the cohort of Be Inspired. Well, Be Heard, So You Want to Be a Speaker. So he'll be coming along as one of our VIPs this time to actually participate instead of just looking at an IATQB event through a camera, which is just going to be glorious. So you can just relax and have some drinks and dance and have some fun with the rest of us. But please welcome one of the kindest, nicest people I am blessed to have in my life, and also one of the most talented videographers I know, the fabulous Mr. Tom Stanhope. Good morning.
Good morning, Danny. It's lovely to be here. Thank you. I'm welling up.
Oh, stop
Such
it.
an intro.
Do you know what? I am digging bringing all of, I say this every morning. I'm like digging so hard on bringing all of my friends on because I get to say all of the incredible things about them. And they are. Like, we've had quite the journey.
Gosh. I mean, so your post the other day that you put up, and it really it gave me a moment to stop and pause and think about that, actually. And the process that you've been through. But, I think what you perhaps undersold is the sheer bloody hard work you've put in. Man, you have worked super hard and deserve everything. It's so good to see. It's so good to see that all the hard work it's kind of paying off, and we're sort of, I guess we're probably about what, 8, 12 months behind in terms of that process. So
Yeah.
it's really it's one, it's lovely to see someone we love to bits doing well, doing so well, but also it's really, really encouraging. You can go, okay, I can see the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, my God, what a journey. What a
Because
journey.
here's,
What Yeah.
sorry, go on.
No.
I was just going to say, like, in terms of the process, like from where I was 18 months ago, sort of within my wider business, and where I am now. Like you say, it is a process, and it's not a process that is very difficult to follow. You've just got to do it, and there's a lot of layers to do it. And I'm one of them people. If someone tells me how to make some money, I'm like, I'm here for it. I've had too long not having any. I've had too long. I've been, I've slept on a park bench, and I've got from food banks before today. So I'm like, anything that I can do now, process wise, where I can take all of my skills and my talents. And you're
Yeah.
in a similar position. I mean, not from the food bank's point of view, but certainly from a directional point of view,
Yeah.
where you want to go, and all of the way that you're doing it online is brilliant. I love that one of our incredible queen bees is like, hello, Mr. Cocktail, because we're going to be talking about that this morning.
I would raise a glass, but I think it's probably a little bit early. Unless,
Five
we
o'clock
should
in
have
the
had
world
mimosas,
somewhere.
shouldn't we? But I have got to drive the
Yes.
kids to school,
Or
and
breakfast
that's a
blinis.
bad look. Yeah. I've got the children here.
So, what was I going to say then? Do you know what? First of all, I don't know. It came backstage, and I was like, I'm not going to prep you. We're just going to start talking, because I think like we've got a
Yeah.
lot to talk about this morning,
Yeah.
and all about the streets and houses to probably get there as well, which is
Yeah.
the theme for a lot of our conversations. We kind of start here and end here, but we go like this to get there.
It's the joy of you talking to somebody who's ADD, because my brain goes in squirrely loops a
It
lot of
does.
the time, and I can't stop it. It's just me.
But it's one of the things that I absolutely adore about you. It means that, no conversation is ever linear. It means that I get to find out all sorts of wonderful things
Thank
about you
God
as
for
we go.
Una. Yeah. Thank God for Una.
So, first of all,
Yes.
even though I'm insanely jealous, can I please compliment you on the television quality of your streaming this morning? I am very jealous.
Well, thank you. It's taken a while to get there. So at the start of lockdown, I ordered a tiny piece of kit called the Elgato Camlink 4K,
Right, writing it down.
and I've had a few chats with Wallace about it, because actually he's made, we've talked back and forth about this. It's been really interesting. But I ordered it at the start of lockdown because I was so fed up with my crummy webcam that I was using. I thought, look, if I'm supposed to be like the video guy, I've kind of got to be able to do this for it to look right. And I
Right.
ordered this thing months ago, and they were completely sold out. And it sort of came through the post about 3 weeks ago, after almost 3 months of me having bought it and waited for it, and it's just arrived finally. So
And I'm scrolling through Facebook, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing Tom at television quality on his StreamYard. I'm like, Thomas, tell me
So-
about it.
Well, so what it allows me to do, and it's a really nifty bit of kit, because I've got so the camera that we used to use for doing all of the normal video work I've done, I've retired it, and I've put it as a webcam. So it's now fixed on the wall just over the top of my. So I'm looking down it. It's on a little posable arm, and that's a Sony A7S. So it's a stills and video camera that I just take a feed out, and it now becomes a webcam. So it means I can
Okay.
I'm using a vintage 1960s Japanese lens on it, which
you are.
makes everything, which even makes a a baldy Gurner like myself look half decent. So it's
Do you know what? I don't, right, a ball deep gainer, like I'm here for that as well. I'm gonna like rob that and put that in my arsenal of things to say. Right, Tom, there is a little
Yes.
bit of an echo. Some people are saying they've got a little bit of an echo, and I've got a feeling it's because I'm going through the speakers and then through the microphone. At
I
your
think we
side.
might be, yeah. So I might.
So you look fabulous, but you're messing with my sound here, pal. Like,
Hang
come
on.
on now.
So is that better?
I don't know. I've got to talk. No, I don't think it is.
No.
Like, we're going to talk to everybody. I wonder if, I don't know what the capacity is here, for you to put any earphones in, and it's okay if you don't.
Yes.
Because it's not completely distracting. It just is there.
Let me just see about this.
Oh, look it. He's got some. Right.
Testing,
can you hear me
testing.
now?
1, 2.
Have we
No.
still got an echo? Oh, we still got an echo.
Hang on. I'm going to stand up. So
You're going
I'm
to
just
stand up?
I'm going to stand up.
I love this. All right, I thought you were just going to stay stood up then. How are we doing? Oh, we still got an echo, but it's all good.
Hang on.
Oh, we've lost you. Danny sounds like the Wizard of Oz with the echo.
Oh, this is really annoying. Sorry.
Greetings. Welcome to the show, Rise Up show. I am the Wizard of the Hive. It's all right.
Hang on. 1 more second. I think I know what I'm going to do here.
Right, whilst he's sorting out that, I'm going to talk to this lot. Has anybody ever caught Tom on a Thursday night with content and cocktails? I want to know, because already somebody said, hello, Mr. Cocktail, and we're going to talk about this. Look, it's like working it out. Don't worry, it's all good. We're going to forge ahead, Tom. Oh, no, we've lost. Look, he's working out. Look.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Right.
And you've got rid of the echo. Look, you're a genius. I'd have just like, we're pressing ahead. It's all right. The show must go on.
Yes.
We're good. We've got it all.
I feel like yes.
You feel like...
London calling. London
Yes.
calling. Hello.
When Wally's downstairs, he's got his earphones on, you can see his microphone. He looks like a radio DJ. Like when we do like family Zooms and stuff, like they all take the mickey out of him, like he's on Charlie FM coming in your ears. You make it look you make it look and sound so much more posh.
I'm not really. It's true. I'm not.
This is a conversation that we've had many times, isn't
Yes.
it? When we first met, I thought you was really posh, and actually you're properly not posh.
Not at all, really. Really not. Really not. I'm a farmer's boy who was forced somewhat unwillingly through the private education system, which was basically Hogwarts meets Colditz. It was kind of, it was awful. I mean, I look back and think what it leaves you with is a whole bunch of neuroses and complexes and a very nice speaking voice.
You've got
and the absurd notion that you can run a country.
I'm sure you could. Like, I'm sure.
I would be terrible at it. I would be. Not to get too political, I would be about as good as Bojo. Because, yes, I would do roughly the same job, I think, and that would be a very bad thing. Anyway, we are massively off topic here.
We are completely off topic. It doesn't matter. It's all right. I prefer it to be like this. Like, we are definitely shooting from the hip and off the cuff this morning, and we are here for it, aren't we? So, Tom, tell us about what you do.
Okay, so to be serious for a moment, I am, I guess, a video expert, and I help speakers, coaches, trainers, entrepreneurs really get to grips with the 3 key pillars of video, and that is creator mindset, the technology, and the strategy. So I help people really kind of get over those blocks around video, because I think we all have a lot of blocks around video. We're all pretty mean to ourselves sometimes about how we look on camera, and I'm one of those people. So I run the business with my wife Una, and she's ex-BBC and a proper adult, and knows her stuff inside out, and is wonderful and tolerant of kind of my nonsense, but also incredibly talented. And we have I guess a huge amount of experience in terms of getting people to embrace the joys of video.
Yeah, because the thing is, video content is king or queen or, you know, royal, however you look at it,
Yeah.
now more so than ever. And like you say, one of the things that you do is you help speakers, online entrepreneurs, you know, people that are moving into the online space, really get to grips with that, because it's probably one of the most scary things about it. I deal with the psychology of, okay, so what actually do you say and how do you say it? And then the beautiful thing about what you do is, okay, so when you've got that bit, how do you then translate that into compelling video content?
Yeah.
And you've helped me no end. Like all of the video really that you see if you go onto YouTube is a result of a collaboration between me and Tom. And really helped me when I first started putting out consistent content that I wanted to be of quality, um, out there into the ether. You know, if it hadn't been for came to a workshop that you put on
Yes.
early last year in the forest.
Oh,
You had you were living in a caravan.
oh man.
Um, as a
That's
result of being part of a new build, by the way, he wasn't just living in a
yes.
caravan, which is cool. You know, if you do, it's fine. But at the bottom of your, I say in inverted commas, garden land, there was this like whole scout type camp. And I remember driving, it was like Warwickshire, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire, yeah.
I remember
Middle of
driving
nowhere.
down and we got there. And he was like, well, we're going to do this video content. You know, we were trying it out. It's something that we want to run out as like a retreat, you know, later on down the line. And I was like, okay, I'm here for this. I got in the car and then we met you there. And then we're like carrying all of our stuff down this like windy forest path. And all of a sudden it just opens up into essentially like the kind of thing that you would find at a Go 8, but without the like all the in the air stuff.
Without all the safety equipment.
Yeah. So, so there was like you explain to me, talk to me about what you had at the bottom of your garden.
So actually, so to give a bit of context, we now live down in Plymouth because we were
Yeah.
building a house. We realised that actually it wasn't right for us, which was one of the hard. That's a whole other story. That's one of the
Right.
hardest decisions we've had to make.
Yeah.
But it's mum and dad's land, so it's a farm my parents have got, and down in the woods. I thought, right, what can I do that's distinctive? I love having I love having people around and entertaining. I thought, right, let's combine some training with a nice day in the woods. So we cooked some food off over a campfire and talked about video content and video content marketing over the course of the day. And it's basically a clearing in the woods, and there's a
Yeah.
fire and there's a big table and all sorts of stuff. And over the years we've built that up because it was kind of a real sort of retreat space for us. And we kind of took the time to turn it into something that was a good way for us to, because we were living, whilst we were building this house, we were living in this caravan. And as you can imagine, with sort of two small kids and kind of two grown people, and actually
Yeah.
three grown people, because we had my brother-in-law with us for quite a lot of the time. It was, and a dog, just to make things a little bit more fun. It was complicated and quite stressful. So having
Yeah.
somewhere that we could go and just get out was
Yeah.
important. And we were planning on sort of doing more of that this year, but obviously with everything that's gone on, we've sort of had to put but we will be doing some of that again later this year, I think, in the sort of late summer.
I think one of the
Which is
things
exciting.
for me when we were there was when you're thinking about content, often we're doing this in quite dry spaces. So, and I mean, not dry as in it's not raining. I mean, dry as in not very inspiring. Like I've
Yeah.
been to sort of conference centers or meeting rooms or even cafes, and it's not very sort of inspiring. Actually, when you get into this sort of forest type space, you're completely out of context, and there's something about being out of context
Yeah.
that allows you to think about things in different ways. And
Yeah.
it was a brilliant day, and we had a laugh because
Yeah.
me and you
It was
always
great
have a
fun.
laugh,
Yeah.
but it was really, really great fun. So how did this, so you did that, or we did that, and we
Yeah.
came along as your delegates, and we had this fabulous time. And then you started to kind of put some nuts and bolts together in terms of what you offer now
Yeah.
and what you're growing to offer now. So tell us about your Facebook group. Now, lots of people have, just as a bit of an aside, lots of people have Facebook groups in order to grow audiences and what have you. But there's something really special about yours. Tell us about your Facebook group.
Well, actually, this is entirely your fault because we were talking about sort of strategy and kind of and how you do things, and I knew that I'd been hiding away. I'd been hiding myself behind the camera, which is a place of I guess it's a place of comfort for me because I know it, I understand it, but I realised that if we wanted to grow the business in the way we wanted to, I had to kind of come out from behind the camera and be much more visible. So there's a whole different thing going on there. But the Facebook group, Grow Your Business with Video, catchy name.
Does what it says on the tin, though.
It does exactly, yeah. So we set that up, and it is a place where people can come, and no matter what stage you are with your video content, it's about advancing your game.
Yeah.
It's about it's either about switching the camera on and doing your first piece of video, or it's about taking the content that you've already got and getting the most out of it, or it's about thinking bigger and with a broader canvas. So there's all sorts of things that people with lots of different levels of experience in that group. But I don't like doing the sort of dry and sort of ordinary stuff. I really enjoy I really enjoy the sort of a little bit of theatre. So on Thursday nights, I kind of crack open. We open up the bar and cocktails and content. Oh,
good morning.
It's Oren. You're live on Facebook, my love. Oh yeah,
Good
there we go. This is Oren. Yes. Come on, you can get visible with video. So yeah, every Thursday evening, 8:00, I will mix a cocktail from Bernard's cocktail book, and Bernard is my it's a book called 100 Cocktails, written by a woman called Bernard, who yes, a lady probably called Bernard, who was who has 100 cocktails of varying potency. And it was my grandfather's cocktail book, his war standard issue cocktail book. And we just mix a cocktail and talk about video content. And it's pretty good fun. I sometimes get quite pissed.
It's loads of fun. And do you know what, like you say, some of them are quite potent. They're like really old school, like, because it's got an inscription, doesn't it? Is it like 1940s?
1945.
1945.
Yeah.
This little book, it's just this little blue book, isn't it? Have you got it there? Show us. Because
I don't know if I have actually.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. When I came to stay, we were doing some filming in Plymouth for a couple of the episodes of my YouTube channel. We've got my boss here, who I know is like a regular viewer of Content and Cocktails.
Oh yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Boss. How are you, darling? And I remember coming down, and one of the other things that you need to know about Tom Stanhope is that he is the most epic cook. So he made this like spread. He's all right. He's fine.
Okay. What do you need? Sorry.
Is this paid for?
Yeah. No, we don't need that, sweetheart. That's if you find something else out, we're gonna. It's all right, my love. You can sit in here if you want. Don't worry. It is. Don't worry, my lovely. Sorry.
That's like me, only you're much nicer. I'm like that with Annie. Get out. Like this. You'd put on this incredible tapas spread of the most wondrous food. It was delicious. But then, so what we can't see right now is are you in your living room, in your spare room or your study? You've just got a wall of books, like a whole library of amazing.
Well, it's really messy in here.
There it is. Look.
But it's all like focus.
Look at that. It's a proper library. So many people. So many people are like, oh, I wish I had a library in my house. And in your dining room area, there was these books, like recipe books, and you was like, Danny, have a look at this. And I remember, like, it was then that Content and Cocktails was born, and you was like, right, I'm gonna go live once a week, and we're just gonna pick one of these
Yeah.
cocktails out of here and want to talk about video content.
Mm.
And it's inspired because how many people know you now for the cocktail?
Not for the video content.
People come
Yeah.
to you for the cocktails and stay for the content. Oh, look here.
Yes.
here's
Hello.
right, go
Well,
on.
this,
Go on.
th-
See Daddy over there.
but this is it. I think for me, so it kind of ties into this idea. Lives, I think, can be pretty daunting.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a hook to hang things off. I could sit down and there's something that's there that if you find yourself thinking, oh, I'm drying up, you can you just mix yourself another drink. And,
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
You've got
it's
something else to do as well. I used to do it with my makeup.
yeah, it's a bit of business, isn't it?
Right. Absolutely. And, you know, for so many people out there, they get to thinking, oh, God, I've got to go live. I'm just going to do talking. But like you say, if you've got like a cocktail there, I mean, all right, granted that you may get pissed in the process, but you know, whatever. For me, it was makeup. For some people, it's, you know, one of my friends, Nikki French, one of my friends and fabulous clients, hers is dog tricks. Like she teaches a dog, you know, different things while she's on live and giving tips about her business. So would you say that is a way to go? I mean, not the cocktail specifically, but what other things could you do?
So okay, there's different ways to look at this. I think you've got the two main types of video. You've got your pre-recorded content and your live content, and they are both nominally similar in as much that it is about the moving image, but they function entirely differently. I mean, live video, there is, I think people are worried about it because it feels like there is more inherent risk to it. People get hung up about what they're saying, how they're saying it. They're worried about what people are going to think about them. They are worried about how they look on screen, and that's a whole other really interesting sort of conversation in terms of how we kind of look at ourselves and see ourselves on screen, and how we can kind of combat that. But there's lots of things going on with lives that don't happen with pre-records, and also with pre-recorded content, there's kind of hurdles that people have to get over, which are very different to lives. So I think with lives, having structure, if you can come up with like here, what we're doing today, you've got a really clear structure to this, and it, but it absolutely is. You know, we turn up, there's a bit of chat, weather chat, we go into the interview, you talk through the interview, then it's out the other end, and it's a really nice, it's a really good format because it. And I think format is the key word here.
Yeah.
TV shows have formats because you don't go, oh, I'm going to make a TV show. Let's just wing it. It'll be fine. Nobody ever says that. You know, you've got to have structure and format. And if you have a format, it is repeatable. So I think with the sort of the content of cocktails, for me, it was about knowing that if I had a structure to follow, I was frankly more likely to follow it and more likely to get to the end.
Yes, and that's it, isn't it? It's to get to the end. Yes. Because one of the things that I talk about to my clients or anybody that comes to talk to me about speaking online, wherever, is why are you speaking? Why do you want to be talking? What is your outcome? Because you've always got to talk with your outcome in mind. And having that format, the beginning, middle, and end, at the very least, allows you to get from one monkey bar to the next and then get to the end. And then everyone understands, okay, so that's the point. That's the reason why. So the reason why you do content and cocktails, yes, of course, it's fabulous to have this kind of, not gimmick is the right word, hook, but actually you deliver some really, like, you pay a lot of money just to get some of the knowledge that you share on content and cocktails on a Thursday night. It's just, honestly, it's phenomenal what you share. It's so helpful because everybody's fighting for a space at the moment. Yeah. And TV as we know it is kind of in a difficult space. People are binge watching Netflix, you know, high production values, all of that sort of stuff. But actually there's this magazine type content that we are taking up space on the internet with. So the better quality that you can deliver this magazine style content, the better. Like, you know, yes, it's all right going live on your phone and
Yeah.
and talking to your phone. And for years, it's something that I did. But the more I went, the more I think, all right, okay, I really want to take up space on the internet. The more I needed to know about what I needed. What kind of microphone do I need? What kind of webcam do I need? How do I do that on the cheap if I'm not rolling in money to start with? Because
Yeah.
when you and I met, I didn't have the incredible,
Well,
successful
yeah.
business that I do now. We were having to do swapsies between us.
Yeah. This is it, and it's and I think this is the kit side of things is so there's some common stumbling blocks that I think people have at the start,
Yeah.
and one of them is the kit. People look at the kit and go, "Oh God, I just don't know what to do," and
Yeah,
that
it's
can be
just
overwhelming because
minefield, yeah.
because there's it's easy to make some very expensive mistakes, and actually you don't need to spend you hardly need to spend any money at the start.
Right.
If you can actually do an awful lot without it all, but then you get the sort of the strategy thing that we've talked about, which is this
Yep.
kind of how do you go, and then you get the mindset stuff. So there are these three key areas that I think kind of people when they're looking to sort of get into this come to and go, oh, I don't, it can feel overwhelming. You look at it,
Yeah.
and you try it a few times, you think, and you look back at it and you think, oh, I hate how I look on camera, or that didn't go well. And
Right.
I think these are things that are I was just saying to you the other day, the amount of times I hear people say, I hate how I look on camera.
I hate
And
how
if
I
you
look on camera. I hate how I sound on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time.
But imagine you would never ever dream of saying that to somebody else. You'd never look at somebody else's video and go, "Oh, I really hate how you look on
really
video."
hate how
It'd
you
be a
look on
dreadful.
video.
Why do we do it to ourselves? We do it to ourselves, but we're so quick and keen to beat ourselves up about doing something. This takes practice. I mean, I'm still learning massively about it, and it's I think even when you do it professionally, day in day out on live broadcast TV, you're still learning your craft.
Yeah.
And because you can't get away from the fact there is an element of performance.
Right.
To
Of
it.
course there is, because you've got to keep people engaged. So there's got to be, an element of things like tone and timbre and
Yes.
making sure that you've got, the sound. I think is really important. What do
Yeah.
you think? I think that's one of the things that you really taught me is sound is the quickest way you can lose people, certainly on a live stream, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're incredibly forgiving about video quality, but when it comes to sound quality, we forget it. I mean, just think about today. Actually, the echo is incredibly distracting. When it's there, you can sort of get by on a wonky image, but if the sound isn't right, forget it. You've lost people.
Yeah,
so
and that's it.
Sorry.
Go on. No. Go on. Invariably, what? This is our lives just constantly interrupting each other because we're excited. Go on. Invariably, what?
Invariably, it's very easily solved with when you're starting out. Just getting a cheap kind of 15 quid tie-kit mic.
Yes,
it's super simple.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be mega expensive. Certainly for sound quality, 15 quid. And eBay is your friend in a lot of cases.
Oh,
so everything that we've got, in fact, I think I say we, Wallace, because, I don't procure anything in terms of tech. I know you two talk about stuff and I'm like, I ain't got a clue. I just turn up and talk into it. I know what to do once it's all plugged in. If someone tells me where the go button is, like I'm there.
Bloody talent.
But that's it. She don't know what she's doing. Really. She turns up and talks to make it look like she's done the whole thing. She hasn't. But it's easier than you think to get a setup that looks good, that isn't just reliant on a wobbly Wi-Fi or a wobbly, mobile internet. And having someone like you around to make that accessible, actually, for so many of my entrepreneur friends, that's what they need. They need somebody, that safe pair of hands, that very calm, posh voice, saying that, you don't have to spend the money. Stop complicating it. Actually, if you've got a format and you've got the basics, you're on to a winner. You don't have to wait till it's studio quality and perfect.
And actually, in that process, you develop you develop your voice and you develop your audience. I think the other thing
Yeah.
to bear in mind is this doesn't happen overnight. You have to work at it. And actually, one of the things I did when I started out is I set up a Facebook group of which I was the only member of, and I
Yes.
then I just practiced going live. I practiced getting my tech set up right, and I practiced the act of talking to the camera,
Right.
because sometimes talking to the camera can be quite difficult. And
Yes.
I've told you my tip for this.
I love this. Is one of my favorite tips, and I use this now. Tell us, right? So many people. I find this all the time, and I find it personally frustrating as well. People talk to themselves because it's a connection thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when we converse, it is easier for us as communicative beings to talk to another set of eyes in the room. So when you see yourself, and yourself is the only person that you're looking to, especially when you're going live, it's very easy to look at yourself and not the camera. So tell us your tip for getting through this.
It's really, really
I
silly.
love it.
So get some stick on googly eyes and stick them on your camera.
I love it.
The way the human brain functions, think how easily we recognize face shapes in random objects. We have this sort of inbuilt mechanism that's designed for us to fixate on faces.
Right.
So if you just stick a pair of googly eyes on something, it instantly draws the eye. So if you stick it on the camera, on the lens, obviously not on the lens, but above it,
Yeah.
you will find yourself looking more at the camera than anywhere else down at the floor. So googly eyes for the win.
And the thing is, because I'm talking to you, I mean, I'm looking to the side of the street because I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
By having the googly eyes up there, it was so funny. And it's little bits of psychology like that really do make a difference, because there is a reason why people don't really like seeing themselves on camera, isn't it? There's some science behind that. And I know you and I have been working through what you're going to be speaking on, because you're gearing yourself up for things like TED Talks as well. You should, just so everyone can hear your magical voice, but also what's in here as well is just amazing. But tell us a little bit about the science around that.
Well, so first of all, I will precede this by saying that I'm an art historian by training. So, not hugely qualified in the world of science, but I've always been a keen science reader, because I sort of harboured this idea that I could be a scientist, but my maths is pretty terrible. So I was told quite early on, not for you.
Not for you.
No. So there's a couple of things here. So my research has widened around this topic, there's been some really interesting things I've dug up since we last spoke. So the first thing that I love, when we see ourselves on the screen, it is not the same as seeing ourselves in the mirror.
No.
When the image that you have created of yourself, so your self-image is largely based off what you see in the mirror. Yeah. And the simple fact is, when you see yourself on screen, you may well have a reaction that goes something like, "Oh, that's not me. That's not how I look." And this is a disconnect, because the person you're seeing on screen, that is an image that is flipped compared to the image you see in a mirror. Right. So we all have subtle asymmetries in our face. So
mine's not even subtle. Like, I've got one eyebrow massively higher than the other. Like, my whole face is wonky. There's nothing subtle about my face asymmetry.
But that's being human. I've got a sort of bendy chin, and one ear's a different size to the other. It's like the guy.
I've got a little ear.
I'm like the guy off the Goonies. It's like,
in your mind, you're handsome Thomas. Stop it.
But this is it. So when you see yourself on screen, you intellectually know it's you, but there's a deep-rooted part of the brain which goes, that ain't me, because we're sort of incredibly good at reading faces. There was a study done in Harvard in the late 70s, which was looking into this, and it bore this out, that there is a disconnect between what we see on screen and what we see in the mirror. Right. Now, I'd been looking for some more up-to-date information about that, and I found it the other day. So a team out of Oxford had run this kind of experiment again, but had used neural imaging techniques, and they found there are distinctive differences in the way the brain reacts when it sees you on screen, when you see yourself on screen and yourself in a mirror. You know on a deep level that it is not you. And so you have to then, the way we get over this is by training ourselves. So the brain is an incredibly plastic thing, and it shifts and takes on new realities very quickly. So we have to then give it time to adjust. And the reason why we get, you kind of get over it is simply because you get over it. Familiarity breeds kind of satisfaction, I guess.
I guess, or comfort even.
Yeah, you get it and you go, yeah. You come to a point all of a sudden and you go, yes, that is me. I can look at the screen. I can now look on the screen and that's me. I now know that. Yeah. Whereas when I started out, I was like, oh God.
Do I really look like that?
I'm not bald, am I? Because, in your head, it's like, because in your head, you sort of think of yourself as your
younger self.
The younger self, that's it. And actually, it's also about how we sound as well. There was an interesting post in Grow Your Business with Video the other day, and it was Jenna actually who was saying, how do I make my voice sound different? Because she was saying, I don't like the sound of my voice. I was like, hey, you got a great voice. Jenna Rigby was saying, she was talking about that, and it was fascinating. But we tell ourselves these stories, but actually, it's not so much about changing it; it's about getting comfortable with who you are, because that ultimately, all you are doing is seeing what everybody else is seeing,
right,
and everybody else is hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, especially with the sound thing, and I get this with a lot of singers as well. The way that your voice sounds in your head because of your sinus cavities, because of the way that sound is made and the way that it's projected, it doesn't sound 100% the same as it does when if you were to record it and bring it back. So you're hearing it internally and you kind of know how it feels, but it's deeply resonant. So when you hear your voice that is not coming out of your head, and I do this because your sinus cavities come even like right behind the eyes, so you're hearing your voice all over your face, which sounds ridiculous, but you are. But when you're just hearing it in your ears, again, there's a disconnect because your voice, as it sounds to you, is coming out of your face, which is why when I talk about speaking, I talk about speaking it out of your face into other people's ears, because actually it's channeled through your nose and through your cheeks and through your ears even. So when you hear it just in your ears, your voice just in your ears, it doesn't sound like you. And then there's this disconnect. Oh, do I sound like that? Is that how I sound? It's like having the mirror image flipped and you're seeing, wait, hang on, this is my wonky eyebrow, that's my little ear, but it doesn't look like me because it's flipped round. It's weird. But that is, again, by doing it again and again and again, you tend to get to grips with it. Now, being a singer, is the word lucky? I don't know. I've had to hear my voice a lot. That not just out of my face, but I've had to hear my voice back a lot, being in recording studios or in shows, or when people have posted me in lives or whatever, or listening back to lives to make sure that I've not fucked up or said, I've said the good things. But it is a barrier, isn't it, to lots of people putting out video content. I don't feel like I look like that. It feels weird, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and actually, there are a host of things, probably which too many to get into here and now. But there are some very, very easy exercises that I'll teach people and kind of get people to do in order to get themselves over that hump. Because once you're over it, it's all gravy. It's great. Yeah. It becomes fun. Once you stop worrying, it actually becomes a whole heap of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm 7 years, nearly 8 years into live video. Oh my God.
That's
and
impressive.
People go, it comes so naturally to you. It comes so easily. I'm like, I've been doing this for the best part of a decade. I don't think it's that. I think I've done my 10,000 hours. I think I've actually streamed over 10,000 hours of, of live video. So, it does come easy to me now. I don't think twice about hitting the live button and showing myself warts and all. But one of the key things I know about me, and for many people that are successful at going live, is that access or that acceptance of themselves. And once you just accept that you are who you are and that's it, again, it opens up so much more. There's so much less, I guess, resistance to pressing the go live button.
Yeah, and I think the sort of the kind of the last thing to probably consider about is the why you do it, and actually you do it because there are a few better ways to get directly to your audience,
Right.
directly to your audience, and
Yeah.
your ideal audience as well,
Yes.
and communicate to them with personality, with passion, with kind of with care, and
Yep.
it's you know, it's an almost unimaginable tool to have that that the majority of people don't use,
Yeah.
and they should
Absolutely.
be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tom, I'm conscious that it's almost school time. Do you need to?
Yeah, I do.
I'm just thinking, like, you've really got to go, haven't you, and get those kids to
Yeah.
school. So I'm going to let you go. But before you do, how do we find your Facebook group? Because I need everybody to go in there and go and join you for Thursday Content and Cocktails.
I would love to have lots and lots of you come over and join us. Actually, join me for a drink on Thursday at Grow Your Business with Video. I will tell you what. I will be sent. I'll put a link in right now.
Are you going to do it now? Or you can do it
I'm
when
gonna.
you come back. Like, I'm conscious you're going to need to, like, fly out the door.
Yeah, that's true. It's although I went and got my. So we had our car breakdown the other day. So I went and got a new car yesterday. So well, not a new car, an old car.
A new
So,
car to you.
yes, a new car to me. So I'm no longer walking the kids into school at the moment. Although yes. Anyway, I digress. So I put the link in there. Yeah.
Fabulous. Right. And in that group, people can find out more about how they can work with you, which I implore that you explore, because it really did change up the way I think about my video content. And of course, this, the Short Wise Rise Up show really wouldn't have happened had it not been for my friendship with you and all of the things that we've explored within our conversations together, which all have been a joy.
Thank you. As always, it's it's a real pleasure. This is the second time I've been here, and it's a brilliant show, and I think everyone is lucky to have you. So thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome. Go get the kids to school.
Right.
I love you, and I will speak to you. Well, speak to you in the week.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Tom Stanhope, everybody, what an absolute joy that gentleman is. Please do go and check him out. Grow Your Business with Video. I highly, highly recommend it. We've got a fabulous week. Of course, we've got a fabulous week. Every week is fabulous. On the show at Rise Up Show, we've got lots and lots and lots of just we're booked up till October, which is, I don't think it's crazy. I'm like, whoa. I put out a shout out in a couple of groups that I'm in, a couple of networking groups, saying, oh, do you know, we're looking for people who want to come and share what they do. I want to share you with the world. And we got booked up to like mid-October. So this week you can find the program on the Queen Bee Daddy page, just a couple of posts previous. We are talking to tomorrow Martina Simakova about how to get past your childhood trauma and unlock the powers to reprogram your subconscious mind and get what you want. Sarah Cook's going to be talking about why knowing your goals and boundaries is the key to building a future-proof business. The gorgeous Phyllis Woodfine will be joining us about becoming unstuck and gaining confidence and empowerment through her Triple M system. And also the gorgeous Emma Louise Fazari is going to be talking all things health and well-being on Friday. So make sure you set your alarms. I will let you know how the hair is going over the course of the day today. I'll keep you posted. You guys are incredible. Make sure you are following me on Instagram if you aren't already at the Queen Bee Danny, and also make sure you sign up to our mailing list on imthequeenbee.co.uk. Lots of exciting things happening in the emails coming up very, very shortly. I will see you in the morning for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. I love you guys. Have an incredible Monday. Go and rip it up this week. You've got it.